I had an idea 2 days before we left for our larger 2.5-week summer vacation. And I told my husband, I have this idea, but I'm not going to tell you until we get back. And he said, no, tell me now. And I told him the idea. If you've watched my other videos, you already know that we took out the bench seating that used to be here and the table. That was the factory direct table. You already know we took that out and we put in this rack, built this, and that used to be a bench seat. So my idea was, here's our countertop space, which is basically non-existent. My idea was to take the actual table. This used to be a table with legs. Was to take this and cut it down. So you can see right there, he cut it here. This is all factory. So cut, and then this is the factory edge to the table. Was to take that table. He did this himself. You can buy this. This is for the cords to come up through. And then he reused part of the bench here. This is the factory here. Reused it for the side. Reused the piece of wood. And I actually had these bins from probably now 10 or 12 years ago when I was in college. These bins were from Target at the time. And now we have actual countertop. So the way that he has this attached right now, and we literally just got back, so he hasn't gotten to mount this. He just duct taped that up for right now to see if we liked it, which we love it. That cord goes in, you can't see it at all because it goes down right there. And then everyone, if you have the 26 bunkhouse by Jayco, you should have an outlet in here. We have it plugged into the outlet right there. I actually wanted a black cord, but you really cannot see it. And we did this last minute before we left, so we did not have time to run to go get a different black outlet instead of a white one. And you really cannot see it when you stand up. So we have extra countertop space now. We ended up having an ice maker on here, a coffee pot, and there was one other thing. Oh, my George Foreman. I could have those out and I didn't have to put it away immediately after every use. So that was really nice to actually have that usable counter space from what was already just sitting in our basement. And now our countertop matches the rest of the camper. As far as the window here, we had already removed what was coming down here, so that didn't interfere with it at all. And we chose to have it come out this little tiny bit, about as much as my finger, and I have a pretty small hand. We chose for that. I could have stopped it back here and it would not have interfered with the window. I just did not want that. I wanted to try and get as much countertop space as I could. I probably eventually will change this and maybe put a door on it or get some different bins to make it more usable. But we literally did this 2 days before we left on our big trip. So it worked. I'm happy with it. I think it looks really nice. I am taping at night right now because it's the only time I have time to tape without little boys at me wanting hugs. So the quality may not be quite the right color, but you can get the general idea on what we did to help us get some extra space and reusing what was already taken out of the camper that was direct from the factory.